want $50,000 for? You think he touch it? We want to find out. We pay for that. You understand? As women, we know them cheap man. That they come and they eat, and when it's time to pay, they go in the bathroom. We know about them. And you there to study whether you have money on your credit card because you're in the toilet hiding. That is the former Minister of Sport. You understand? He touching and tasting and we paying. You understand? You see, almost every month, we are being assailed by the exploit of this former Minister of Sport. You know, it's from one thing to the other. It is okay if there are two concerning adults and the man dips his hand in his pocket. But when we have to pay for the good times, we can't pay for the man good time bill. So I am saying tonight that this Prime Minister has obviously run out of options. At least he understood that the good Randy Mitchell couldn't build a house. He put himself there. But that's for another time. You understand? Because the Prime Minister too has a record. Tonight we are talking about sexual harassment in the workplace. We have a lot of women here tonight, and we need to address it here tonight. The Prime Minister cannot take up Darrell Smith, who watching a man and seeing the skirt and talking about it fit. Darrell Smith is a stylist. So he cannot be so bold-faced to put in no Ministry of Housing, and we say we're taking that. We are not taking that. We are not taking that. Women, we are not taking that. Keith Rowley had daughters. He wants that if his daughters go into an office, Mr. Overfed, they're licking him out. Will he like that? Who will protect our girls? We are not taking that. And I'm telling you, the time is coming for us to march. We are going to march to Miss Morrow because tonight she's there, she's sad, she's lonely, she's heartbroken because she went to work to mind her child, and a man licking lips and watch her, and because she spoke out and said, when he started to say, don't you think I'm sexy? She said, no. He vexed. You know, because this fella he hot more than he's sweet. You understand? I feel this guy, when he goes in front of the mirror, he has seen Darrell Smith, he's seen Black Panther. Something had to be wrong with this man. Something wrong in his head. You understand? So ladies, we are not taking that. Darrell Smith got to go. No more. Let him go. His ramping is over. You're ramping on my dime, I can tell him that. So, with the Kamla Prasad Bissessa government, we had to work. You heard everybody before me talking about all that we had done. Right? We had to produce in the interest of the people. Right? We were there working, not walking up. You understand? That's what we were there doing. You know? This government of sex lies and videotape and email gate. Notice. So, more than ever, we need a leader with vision. We need one with a plan. We need one with compassion. One whose policies create jobs. One who gives us hope. One who will look after vulnerable women. Wherever they are, their policies will. We will ensure that women could go to work and do what they have been sent to do. Right? There mustn't be their dodging minister up and down the place. So Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bissessa would have fired Darrell Smith. Right? Forthwith. No. Nope. She did not have to wait for any urging from any Express editorial. So tonight, I'm telling Dr. Rowley, if you have fired Darrell Smith, we can fire you. We need to fire you. You need to get out of there. You're a waste of time. I'm telling you, tonight I urge you to let Kamla Prasad Bissessa be your bridge over troubled waters. All ye that are labor and heavy laden, I assure you that in the house of the rising sun, there are many mansions. And if it were not so, this picky-head girl from Sharfield would have told you that it is not so. Brothers and sisters, let's keep working. Let's keep fighting for a brighter Trinidad and Tobago. Let's keep hope alive, brothers and sisters. We're marching. We're getting out Darrell Smith. Thank you.
Murga table and you heard a plain talker. No water in she mouth. She tell you as it is. She tell you the truth. Let me hear it for that truth talker. I tell all you, our leader choose the best in representation. someone that will tell it as it is. Now I have the pleasure and the honor is mine tonight to introduce to you the next Prime Minister. No Prime Minister in waiting. The next Prime Minister. Because Muruga Tableland going to signal the change that is to come here tonight. And I am going to work tirelessly to make sure that is a reality. And I know that the soldiers here seated tonight is going to make that a reality. Let me hear you, Muruga Tableland, for the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the mother of the nation.
I feel like
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Jelly John. Muruga Tableland. Tonight I know when the roll is called up yonder, Muruga Tableland will be there. So good night. Friends and family of the UNC, good night, Muruga Tableland. How are you feeling tonight? I am so happy to see the enthusiasm, the energy, your passion for your party. I can see you are ready. You are ready to take Muruga Tableland back into government. You are ready for the return of our great party into the corridors of power. Thank you very much. Thank you. And before we get into other issues, I want to pause for a moment for us to celebrate the life of two of our great soldiers. And that is our candidate in one of the seats for Toko Sandigrani as we mourn her passing, Amelia Ram. And also a stolyer and stalwart in the Barataria seat, Mr. Vishnu Ramota. May their souls rest in peace as they pass into the great beyond. And in life, there is death. But in life, there is celebration. And tonight, I thank them, honor them for their contributions to Trinidad and Tobago and to our very great party. And it is very ironic that today when we are celebrating a woman who for the first time won gold in the Commonwealth Games for Trinidad and Tobago, we congratulate her, we thank her. So as we celebrate her glory for Trinidad and Tobago, we are now seeing the minister who mashed up our tourism industry moving to be where? Chamfa into where? Ministry of Sport. But we are great people. We are resilient people, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago will forever continue to shine. Michelle, congratulations on your goal. Congratulations on the behalf of our great party and Trinidad and Tobago. So what a week it has been. What a week and happenings and going-ons and shenanigans we have seen in this past week. There are some who have said, and I know that the circus is in town. And we have to ask, who is advising the Prime Minister in town when the circus is in town? Is it Mickey Mouse? Today we saw the reshuffling of the jokers the roamers and the rompers. And it will change to nothing in this Mickey Mouse government under Keith Rowley. You know, it reminds me of a song by David Rudder. Perhaps we can take a few lines in. You know, they say whom the gods wish to destroy, they first make them mad. And what we witnessed with that reshuffle is what the song was saying, madness. Madness. As Jerlin has really graphically described what has happened in moving Darius Smith from one ministry, promoting him, and don't fool yourself, you know, they say it's not a promotion. And their friends in the media, it's a demotion. They're saying, no, no, no. You have moved him from a ministry of a few $100 million to a ministry, what? Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And what is to happen for each day that he sits in the parliament, that he sits in the government? It's an insult to every mother, to every wife, and to every daughter, and to every man, father, brother who stands by our side. It is an insult. You can't have a halfway, you know. There's a saying, you can't be half pregnant. It's either you're pregnant or you are not. So you can't say, slap him on the wrist, but you're keeping him in the government. Today, Keith Rowley has shown his total impotence. Total impotence. He has shown that he cannot take the hard decisions, and we have to ask why. Not just Kamala, not just the opposition is saying Darrell Smith must go from the government. All the talk shows, the newspapers, the editorials. But this Rowley is so out of touch with the reality of what is taking place on the ground. And so he keeps him there, and the question must arise, why is he protecting Darrell Smith? Why is Rowley shielding and protecting Darrell Smith? And I want to ask some questions tonight. I want to ask some questions. And these questions have to do with the Diego Martin Sports Complex. First of all, in that Diego Martin Sports Complex, I think the Minister of Sports was whom? Darrell Smith. Building this, first we were told it costing $40 million. Now I'm being told it's $140 million, and it's not finished yet. So we have to wait to see the cost overruns on that project. And then I'm told that the company that got the contract, there's a small man in that contract. Small man in the firm got the contract. And that small man playing golf every day with the big man, Keith Rowley. So are they golfing partners? Is that true? And that may be okay. But we know there must be processes to do things. But I am told it was something called a sole select tender. Contractor was chosen by sole select tender. Now I read the law, you know. Under the CTB rules, Central Tenders Board, you can have sole select tendering, but it must be for something that company is the only one with expertise in that area. So if you want to buy bulletproof vests, for example, you will go to look for a company that has expertise in manufacturing bulletproof vests. And indeed, most of the sole select tendering is done when we deal with national security issues. Here we have a company, selective, only company selected, first of all 40 million and 140 million. I am told, and I'm asking, is this a small man who plays golf with the Prime Minister? That's the question we need to ask. And then, you know what is the expertise of this particular company if you go up on their website? Box drains. Building box drain. That is their only experience and expertise. Being given is $40 to $140 million. Can it be that Darrell Smith holding goods on Rowley? Can it be that there is more in the mortar than the pestle at Diego Martin Sports Complex? And of course, many other things that Rowley is protecting Darren Smith. I asked those questions tonight. And I asked the Prime Minister to come out and tell us, why is he afraid? Why will he not do the right, proper, honorable, decent thing and fire Darren Smith from his government? Why? Why? What goods does he hold on the Prime Minister? And, you know, I have to ask you a question. I really have to ask you a question. Dr. Rowley last week, when they were interviewing him in the postcard, made this great statement. He said, I have full confidence in all my ministers. I have full confidence, Rowley says, in all my ministers. Do you agree with Dr. Rowley? Do you have confidence in a Minister of National Security who was before a New York court on allegations of fraud? And in the end, we are told what? Sealed. Secret deal. We don't know. Secret deal. We don't know what happened in that matter. Is Edmund Dillon a fraudster? Or is he not a fraudster? We cannot say. Because guess what? Sealed. It's like the non-disclosure agreement that was supposed to be in Darren Smith's case. Well, Dr. Rowley has confidence in him. You know what's the murder numbers today? I heard Rowley, sorry, how can I make that mistake? I heard MP Rodney Charles say 142. Well, I'm told it's 145 to date for the year. Do you know how many days we have in the year so far? Anybody checking? About 100 days. 145 murders. And Rowley has confidence in Edmund Dillon. Do you have confidence in Edmund Dillon? Rowley also said, when he said confidence, he said, and if I don't, I will take away their portfolio. Well, he didn't. He just reshuffled and recycled. Politicians, scandal plagued the politicians. You all know the old say he reshuffled the jokers in the park. Tonight I say, Dr. Rowley, we have no confidence in any of your ministers. I can spend time talking about each one we can go through. But you know, we have Rohan Sinanan. We can't get a boat yet. This man so backward or don't know what dotish. You know what he announced to get himself in the news? He said, I'm going to do an audit on the spirit. The man auditing himself, the same business he's minister of, going to run audit. Run an audit on the, what is it, the TG spirit? Run an audit. Do you have confidence in Rohan Sinanan? Do you have confidence in Faris Alwari? If the reports are correct, the Attorney General may be involved in alleged conspiracy to cover up the whole Darren Smith affair. How can we have an Attorney General who may be involved in a conspiracy to cover up public misconduct and public wrongdoing? And then we could talk about the taxman himself. I noticed the Prime Minister has taken up a new kind of language, or maybe he always did it, it's not coming public. He liked to call people imp. I think he called Rodney Charles imps too, if I'm not mistaken. And poor Barry called Barry Padarat imps too. And this man is so not hands-on with what is happening in this country. When he's told about the allegations and the calls from the opposition and from MP Barry Padarat for Darren Smith to go, you know what he said? Fix your grammar. Front page of the Express today, headline, Barry get buff. Because he was calling for the right thing. Rowley doesn't understand, he's so out of touch. So he think by saying the grammar, well, Barry, that fella brave, eh? By this morning, he say, well, I have fixed my grammar, you go fix your government. Go fix your government. And up to today now, the shuffle and the reshuffle and the recycling and the cycling of the same faces and the same scandal-plagued ministers, it is very clear that he has not fixed his government. So he says he has all this confidence in his ministers. As I say, I can go through each one. I've shared with you some of it. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with whom? With the head of the cabinet, the Prime Minister Rowley. The buck stops with him. And if he has confidence in all his ministers, we say to him tonight, we have no confidence in Keith Rowley. No confidence in Keith Rowley. And here we are now with sexual harassment. And in the Parliament today, a question was asked of the Minister of Labour, what is the government's policy for dealing with sexual harassment in the workplace and so on? End of the line on the story and the old talk. Her answer was they have no policy. No policy with respect, but it's coming soon. 2.5 years later, everything is coming soon. I want to tell you, I am so outraged. As Jillian told you, and you know that when allegations were made of lesser evil, of lesser things, I was not afraid to take the hard decisions, to call on my ministers to go. Because this is something we cannot condone. We all know, most working women know what it is like to be faced with some form of inappropriate sexual harassment in the workplace. As women, we know, working women know. As women going to educational institutions, we know. Don't hide your head. Me too. We know. And so something must be done about it, and it must be done now. And I want to tell you what I am doing. I am drafting a private member's bill to take to the Parliament to deal with the issue of sexual harassment in the workplace and at educational institutions. I will take it to the Parliament. Because when the Minister of Labour was asked today, that was not important. It will come. Not even law, because she promised us law 2.5 years now to deal with the labour issues in our country. Not one line has come. So I give you this assurance tonight. I will draft that bill, I will take it to Parliament, and let the government be bold-faced and shameless enough not to support law against sexual harassment. All members of my government were mandated to keep up those standards, and when they did not, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid. I asked Rowley again, what these fellas holding on you? What Darrell Smith holding, that when everybody's saying, move him, you just shift him. And it is worse where you've put him. Jillian said it. Many single mothers go for housing, don't they? How is what is going to happen? How can we trust Darrell Smith? How can any woman trust Darrell Smith to approach him? How can we do that? So tonight is a very dark day. Yes, he's moved him from sport, but then he's just shifted him up somewhere else. Numerous allegations. And these allegations against Darrell Smith are not today, you know. There have been allegations against him since he was in the corporation, Diego Martin Regional Corporation. We must remember Dr. Rowley replaced Amory Brown, Dr. Brown, to put Darrell Smith there as a candidate. And after that, we had the romping incident in Tobago. Jillian mentioned tonight other stories, more to come, you know, those things. The truth will always rise up. The truth will always set you free. Before Easter, when he comes back after the Easter, after the golfing and so on, interviewing him at Postcab last Wednesday, he said, I don't know anything about that. Okay, I'll check. When they pressed him, I'll check it out. So while he's still checking out, the Front Page Express exposed Darrell, the revelations which came on. Can we congratulate the Express and the reporters? Because if we didn't, if that investigative reporting wasn't done, then we will still be saying we think so, we know so, but where's the evidence that provided the evidence, what everybody knew, huh? People were saying it everywhere, Darrell this, Darrell that. The evidence came forward. So all of that, but again, the Prime Minister never knows, he never sees, he never hears. And while all this is going on in the country, you cannot get medicine in the hospitals. You can't get medicine at the health centers. People lining up in the corridor of the San Fernando General Hospital for medical treatment. You have the schools cannot open. You have every wrong. People losing their jobs. Look, UTT staff now, They're going to let them go today. Another person sent me, they're firing all the CPEP contractors and workers. Everywhere jobs are being lost every single day. And what is the government doing? What is their big thing for the last week and this week? Let me tell you what it was. The government is running up and down the hallways of the parliament. They're waving foreign newspaper articles about a company called Cambridge Analytica. At the last Monday night, I told you clearly, we had nothing to do with that company. The government sends this company put out ads on Facebook in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. That is no revelation that Facebook advertising is or was used by any political party. PNM, UNC, COP, ILP, and every political party at election times. Because you see, it's so easy to do. You who use Facebook, you know. You post something on the Facebook, you press a button marked sponsor. Look, you telling me, you know. You press a button that says sponsor, yeah? And there you have it. You're advertised on Facebook. But of course, Keith Rowley is so incompetent in his government, in every era. Now they want to say they don't know where the sponsor button is on Facebook. They had to wait for Cambridge Analytica to come to tell somebody how to advertise on Facebook. It is just distraction and confusion. So today they brought the a motion in Parliament for the AG's statement on Cambridge Analytica to be referred to the JSC. I want to repeat what I said before. The UNC had absolutely nothing to do with Cambridge Analytica and SCL or whoever it is. All this then has happened in the past week. So once blows dropping on them, they're looking for distraction. So they come up with what? Cambridge Analytica. They come up to say that nobody in Trinidad could put something on Facebook. Well, I think almost everybody here, majority, you on Facebook long before me. You're on Facebook long time. And some of you right now on Facebook streaming this meeting live. True or not true? Right now this meeting is on Facebook. And where was the Prime Minister when all of this was happening in the past few weeks? He said he was in Tobago, he was watching crab race, he was playing cricket, and he was playing golf. In fact, the man actually said, you know what? They said the occupancy in the hotel was so low, but what? I was there. I was at the Magdalena. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He said it exactly like that. He said, I was there. He said, not as a guest of the hotel, but I was there on the grounds in the golfing. So this fella golfing for the whole Easter weekend. That's his answer, to tell us about the occupancy hotel and so on. Back again, knows nothing, knows nothing about anything, and he's clearly incapable now of taking strong action. He cannot be bothered to do anything. He keeps passing the buck along. Blame Kamla, blame UNC, blame partnership, blame the police, blame the... That is the single most important job of any government. Do you agree with that? Because I say if you're dead, no matter if you have road, if you have house, if you have school, if you have bridge or water or food. Crime. Murders today, 145, 100 days. You cannot walk in the streets now. You can't go anywhere. It is a scary, scary feeling. And you have this minister now, Moses, plus 2 other ministers dealing with national security. You know, I just want to share with you some of the things we did before I tell you what more we can do. Because I do believe one of the greatest challenges for our country today is the fight against crime. In June 2016, I called on the Prime Minister, let us meet to deal with anti-crime. I don't know if you'll recall that. June 2016, okay? Let's meet because the crime just continues to spiral. Then in August of that same year, I wrote again calling for an urgent meeting to discuss the country's crime problem. In my letter, I said to the Prime Minister, the life, limb, and property of every citizen is now imperiled as criminals are merciless in their rampage, even when it comes to snuffing out the lives of innocent children. I called then on Prime Minister Rowley to consider taking up the portfolio of national security because of the dismal results of his 3 ministers. Well, he had a chance again today. He's the Prime Minister. He said he chose what? Housing. And we'll have to ask why about that too. Huh? The facts will unfold. It will unfold. It will come to light. I called on him, look, take it up because, you know, this is the most important ministry and the most important issue. Eventually, we met in early September. At the meeting, we called on the government, put more boots on the ground to deter crime, to have proper enactment of legislation already passed in Parliament, such as the DNA Act, the Electronic Monitoring Act, all of which we had passed, to bring them into force. It was only today that the DNA regulations came up for debate in the Parliament. We also called on the government to fulfill their manifesto promise to set up a joint border protection agency. Up to today, broken manifesto promise. Important at that meeting, the government agreed with us when we said that the Joint Select Committee of the Parliament on National Security should not be chaired by a government minister. It has been chaired by Hines. We said it should not be chaired by a government minister, but by an independent senator. The government agreed with us, you know. That's since 2016. Up to today, Hines remains as the minister in charge of the national security. No wonder why crime is where it is. 3 hapless ministers of national security and a hapless minister, Hines, in charge of the JSC in Parliament. I met again with the Prime Minister a year after that. He agreed to provide updated answers to the questions. We met again in January. I wrote to him, urging him for us to meet and so on. Well, that guy don't really want to meet me. It's not I want to meet him. But I felt in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago, let's meet. He took my letter and he flung it and he tell Faris answer the letter. So they wrote me back. I didn't take offense at that because, again, your interest is more important than mine and my pride. Your interest is greater. I said, look, let's get together and pass this anti-gang law. So he gave Faris the answer. We had back and forth. We went to Parliament. We supported it. So where is the anti-gang legislation today? When we didn't support it the first time because it was in breach and violations of serious rights, they say blood on the UNC hands. Well, whose hands? Whose hands? Whose hands is that blood on now when murders are 145 today? Where is the blood coming from? Our sons and daughters bleeding. And where are you? What are your plans? You've kept none of yours. This PNM led by Rowley. I give you these details, you know, to show you as the UNC, we were prepared to work with this government. But you see all of that? Done. That finished. It finished. I give up. I give up. We will come to you, the people. We will work hand in hand with you. We will march with you. We will take to the streets. We will take to the courts to fight this wicked, incompetent government. That is where we have to go because they will not meet. They will not greet. They will not talk. Their whole manner of governing is one of a total dictatorship. It is their way or the no way. Their way or the highway. Well, we will not live like that. This is a democratic country, and we will not live like that. And so tonight I want to share something else with you. Because I told you we will fight them in the Parliament. We will fight them outside the Parliament, in the streets, on the corners. We will fight them when we have to in the courthouse as well. And I want to share this with you tonight. You remember local government, huh? Do you remember local government reform? Since 2003, PNM promising local government reform. Okay? Well, we still don't have it. When they had the last local government election, the entire platform was local government reform. Well, they still haven't done it. But today, not only have they done bad or worse, I was trying to say worse than the Manning PNM, when they didn't bring the local reform, when Mr. Manning and his government 3 times postponed local government elections, remember? So what this Keith Rowley government is now doing with local government is this. 2 seats are vacant. Local government seats are vacant. One in Barataria is vacant for 8 months now. 8 months, you know. And the one in Belmont East, vacant. Vacant. Because, God rest their souls, the councillors passed away. And this rowdy government, in subversion of the democracy, in subversion of the rule of law, in subversion of the constitution, have refused to call the local government elections for those 2 vacancies. Why? I am not afraid, win, lose or draw, bring it on. Bring on the elections. It is the right of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So if they will not follow the law, we will go to the court to have them follow the law. So today I send them 2 pre-action protocols letters. 2 letters. I act on behalf of, to the Attorney General, I act on behalf of 2 constituents of the Barataria district, the electoral district. They have been without a counselor for the past 8 months. And according to the law, I will not read all the provisions of law, but hello, it's an 11-page letter. So rest assured, all the law is in this letter. All the law is in this. And we are seeking that within 7 days they must take action to have the president issue a writ of election for the Barataria seat and for the Belmont East seat. I'm saying to you, I'm not afraid, win, lose or draw, you must follow the law. Win, lose or draw, follow the law. They have failed to follow the law of Trinidad and Tobago. And so we are seeking for them a declaration, this is what we will go to court for, a declaration that the failure, which is a continuing failure of the cabinet, of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, acting, the power of the cabinet, rather the minister of the cabinet itself, their failure to inform the office of the president that the seat of the council for Barataria has been vacant and that the seat for the council for Belmont East has fallen vacant. And they have not done that within a reasonable time, and therefore that is illegal, unlawful, and unreasonable. Further, we are calling upon them to act upon this within 7 days, failing which, guess what? We will go to the Supreme Court of Trinidad and Tobago to enforce the rights of the constituents of Barataria and of Belmont East. So whilst they're playing, romping and roaming and recycling and cycling failed politicians, we will follow the law. And we will go to court to have the law enforced in Trinidad and Tobago. As I close tonight, I just want to remind you of some of the things that we promised you that we will do, how we will help to move Trinidad and Tobago forward. I don't think we can wait for our fortunes to improve from the oil and energy sector. We must take action now to diversify our country. We will continue to focus on key areas for development, including ICT, tourism, maritime industries, creative industries, and alternative renewable energy. You will recall that we identified growth poles in Southwest, Central Port of Spain, North Coast, East Tobago, Southeast, East, Southeast, here with Moruga, Rio, Mayaro, Sandy Grande, and so on. And we identified these growth poles as economic zones so we could bring in different clusters of investments suited to the area. So for you here in Moruga Tableland, what does this mean for you? It means that this cluster we will create will be specific to the needs here and the benefits for the people of Moruga to create jobs for the people of Moruga. And when I say Moruga, I'm talking Moruga Tableland, this constituency. We will intensify diversification to grow the economy outside the energy sector, and so to have a positive effect on foreign exchange earnings to create good quality jobs. We will focus on infrastructure to facilitate greater use of technology, to deepen the process of building a knowledge economy, and to ensure our people are prepared for the fourth industrial revolution. For 2 years, I've been speaking of the fourth industrial revolution, which I'm saying is the only way, that is the only, or the main avenue to take our country forward, to create the jobs that you need, your families need. And you know, now I see they're advertising a conference at one of the hotels in Port of Spain about, guess what? The fourth industrial revolution. the fourth industrial. I look forward to the conference. It is not the government, it's private sector people who are bright enough to understand that this is the way for us to go. And so we will take steps. We will take further steps into getting the digital global economy. We started it with the laptops. And listen, when you put us back in office, I will give back the children their laptops in the schools. There's several others. That fourth industrial revolution and the IT is a strategy which thrives not just on the online transactions, but it has to do with innovations and new concepts. Something called the Internet of Things, something artificial intelligence, 3D printing. The last time I spoke in a meeting up on the corridor, I talked about you can go up online, you can find a product, and you can stay home and have the right printer, and you could print it out. Then I talked about you could have the robotics. And I say you'll be standing here and you just press a button and things will happen. You know, when I left that meeting, I went to the home, the after event for refreshments. They showed me a machine stand up in the corner somewhere. You know, they say, leader, that is what you were talking about. That is a remote control vacuum cleaner. Can you believe it? So it's here already, artificial intelligence. It means that the jobs some of you may now have will become extinct. And therefore you have to be trained for the jobs of tomorrow. So whereas before you would have had someone doing the physical job of something, in the day to come in this new global age, the digital age, they don't want a man or a woman doing it. It's a robot. Jobs in factories, the robots, more and more robots will be doing those. We have to create the jobs. We have to train you for the jobs because some of the jobs of today will not exist tomorrow. And that is why I totally condemn this government. As Carlene told you about education and importance, I condemn them for the closing down of the gate, the NIC, the NESC, the YTEP, all these programs we had for training our people. They have shut down those. And where is the money going? Diego Martin Sports Complex? Where is it going? Brian Ladder Stadium? So they're spending how much thousands or millions to open it? Nothing happening there, you know. Shut down. Shut down. Big Bram. Big fancy opening. Money spent. Drinks flow. And what's going on there? Nothing. Not being used at all. Paying money for romping. Romans. Paying money for paintings. So-called deceased. Paying money for everything else. Except the money to train the young people of our country for the jobs of tomorrow. They are so stuck on the past. There is no hope. There is no hope. I know people were prepared to give the PNM the benefit of the doubt. Give them a chance. Huh? Your chances have run out. You have failed, and you have failed miserably, Dr. Rowling. The UNC team is ready. We have a vision. We have a mission. And together we must work to move our country forward. Your party, the UNC and our loyal supporters, you continue to be subjected to worst kinds of attacks. But do not get distracted and never fear because Kamala is here. Do not fear. The UNC is here. You see, they want to get us faint, weak-hearted, to pack up and hide home. We never do that. We are strong, as I say. We will never, ever, ever give up. They do not know what it means to be a member and supporter of a great party like ours. We were born out of struggle for equal rights and justice for all. We understand that performance beats old talk every time. We know that if you work hard for what you believe in, success will come. Some people never understand how. Even in opposition, we can hold meetings anywhere and everywhere in this country. And our meetings bigger and brighter than a meeting in the Prime Minister's own constituency. And you know why we can do this is because they cannot take our pride away. They cannot take our pride away. It is because of the proud history of our great party that each of us commits daily. We heard our speakers tonight committing daily to do best that they can to take Maruga Tableland back into government, to take you back into government. And they could say the worst things about me. I went to school just like them. But some didn't. But I went to school like many of us. And I always learn, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So they have said everything in the world about me. I think all of us here. And what they didn't say, they make up and say. And we are alive and we are strong and we will continue to fight for justice and equality. We will never back down. You have shown that you're ready to work to help your fellow Trinbagonians. You have shown that you're ready to do what you can to build our country into a better place. Our country is stronger together. Our country is better when we work together. Do not let those who would divide us, do not let them do it, and do not let them distract you. Do not, when you see the lies, I think Jillian put it, this is now, the Rowley government is now a government of sex, lies, and fairy tales. That's where they've reached. Do not get distracted. Do not ever fear. Do not let those who want to divide us. My friends, according to Mr. Manning, if you remember, facts are stubborn things. They are very hard to go away. I am committed, and I remain committed to our party's original vision, always to create a better future for all our citizens, and especially for whom? For our children. I told you last time what matters most. What matters most are our children. What matters most is a future for our children. And I'm telling you that was my commitment and my focus for the years I have served in public office. And that remains my commitment because the children are our future. The children are our future. Treat them well. Treat them well. And this government has shown they have no care for women, no care for the vulnerable, but above all, they have no care for the children of Trinidad and Tobago. So let us come together, and I ask you tonight, are you ready to move with us? Are you ready to return your party to government? Are you ready for us to move forward with a plan to rescue TNT from this uncaring government? The UNC will embrace the challenges that lie ahead because we are people-focused. We look for people-centered development. That is why when we were there, what we looked at, schools and hospitals and roads and bridges and jobs, those are the things that affect you right in your heart and in your pockets. Those are the things that affect you. Those are the things that help you. Schools and hospitals, roads and bridges connect people. Infrastructure brings jobs, brings up bills. In the places where we built all those roads, land prices have gone up, businesses have gone up. Sad to say, since Rowley came into government, those businesses are closing down. Closing down. Let us work together to make Trinidad and Tobago a greater, better place. Let us return our nation to greatness. So thank you very much. I am UNC and I am very proud. Are you UNC? Are you proud? I keep reminding you, we don't need guns. We don't need anything else. All we need is this. Raise your hand with me. With this finger, you can put a government in power and you can move a government out of power. Let us ready our party to vote them out. The most incompetent government, the most incompetent prime minister, we must vote them out of office. But before we can get that vote, before we can get that opportunity, we must make a rising, a great uprising in this country to exercise our civil rights, to demand that they call the election now. I join with Jillian and the others. I join with them to say the time has come and the time is now. This is the time for us to stand together and to march together for justice, for equality in Trinidad and Tobago. As I close, I want you to look at your screens because I want to thank the hard-working chairman, councillors, the constituency executive, and the activists of Maruga Tableland for the tremendous job they're doing together with the coordinator, Randy Ramadas Singh, and coordinator, Dr. Colleen. I want to thank all of you. I want you to see yourself on screen, the great work you've been doing. May God bless you, and I thank you all very much.
Problems get you down. Stay focused and hold your ground. Because what don't kill you should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources. I don't know them still get.
Brothers and sisters, I ask you to hold on just for a few minutes. The pleasure is mine. Usually I bring the pepper, but tonight I bring you the sugar. It is a very special evening, and for the third time, we have the opportunity, the third time in a row, to celebrate with our political leader her birthday. She will celebrate her birthday in just a few days, but we thought, what greater opportunity than for the family of the United National Congress should show the love and appreciation for the best political leader and prime minister this country has ever seen. So, political leader, on behalf of our great party, all our supporters assembled here tonight, we call on Brian Mohan to lead us in wishing you through song a very, very happy birthday and God's richest blessings. As we know, as night follows day, the sun will rise again, and you will usher us back into the annals of government. Thank you.
Let's join together and sing. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों साल है मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kamla. Happy birthday to you. बेकरार हो के दामन थाम लूं मैं किसका, क्या मिसाल रूह है तेरी नाम लूं मैं किसका. नहीं नहीं ऐसा हंसी कोई नहीं है जिस पे ये नजर बिक जाए, बेमिसाल जो कहलाए, तुझे ये हजारों साल है मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to our Kamala. Happy birthday to you. DJ. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. With Kamala as our leader, it will be alright. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind just to save his own beliefs? One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, and I will feel alright. With Kamala as our leader, it will be alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when Kamala comes, there will be no doom.